Failing is actually your sign to quit. It doesn't mean that you need to now go harder. It doesn't mean that you need to try again. It's actually a sign that maybe whatever you're doing is just not for you, and you'll be better off spending your time elsewhere. I heard someone say this the other day, and they were saying it in relation to this idea that no matter how miserably you're failing at something, no matter how the odds look against you, and basically no matter how untalented you are at this thing, as long as you keep pushing, as long as you keep trying, as long as you keep working hard, that you can somehow prevail in the end. And this person described themselves as a realist, and how the rest of the world, we kind of like to live in this fairy tale land and have this belief that anything is possible and anything can be done. And deep down within us, we know that this belief is flawed and it's wrong, but we still choose to kind of believe it because we would prefer the world to actually be in that way. And the realization and the truth that the world isn't actually like that is something that scares us very much. And as a result, we kind of just accept this false ideology, that we know is false, but we still kind of go with it to kind of make ourselves feel better about ourselves. And even though I didn't like the point that he was making, I could kind of see some truth in it. I could kind of see where he was coming from or why he was saying those things. Once you stop shutting down ideas that you don't agree with, or ideas that you don't want to agree with, and you kind of start to take a step back and actually try and understand them, try and understand where that ideology is coming from, you're able to gain a much better understanding of what it is that they're actually trying to say. I think a lot of the time our understanding is clouded by our own biases, and whether we agree with what the person is saying or not, that we kind of almost subconsciously choose to not hear them. It's like even when they're speaking, we're just kind of waiting for them to stop speaking so that we can kind of counter what they're saying, but we haven't actually taken in anything they're saying or understood how what they're saying could actually make sense in some ways. So I kind of found myself thinking about those words and thinking about, okay, how could it actually be true? And how could it be wrong? And I think I very quickly fell into the trap of doing the easy thing. Just sort of looking at people who have made it, who weren't necessarily always gifted, always naturally talented, and using their success as an example as to why that statement couldn't be true. But then I thought about it and I kind of realized those people are actually anomalies. Yes, we can look at them and say they are evidence that it's possible, but at the same time, should we also look at the probability of that success? Is that something that we should take into consideration a lot more than actually the evidence that it's possible? Because for every one of those people that persevered, kept on going, kept on trying, there's also millions and billions of other people that did the exact same thing. They also gave it their all. They also tried every single day, every single year, but for them, it ended up very differently. For them, they didn't get to where they wanted to be. And I think a lot of the time we fail to understand that, because when we see these anomalies and their stories and how much hard work was pivotal in that and what working hard was able to get them, we kind of assume that, okay, cool, through hard work, you can definitely get there. And if you didn't get there, it's because you didn't work hard enough. And I don't think that's true. I think that's kind of also disrespectful to the people who gave it their all but didn't get where they wanted to be. Sometimes it's not because you didn't work hard enough. I feel like the world doesn't work in that way. Just because you worked really hard at something, it doesn't mean that you're going to get it. And what happens for a lot of people is they end up spending all their resources on this thing that they really, really want for themselves, but maybe they're just not very much suited for that thing, and there's this other thing that they're very much suited for, but they're not able to kind of realize that potential because they're so focused on this one thing. So there's that side of things as well, you know. Sometimes wanting to pursue one thing, wanting to do one thing can cost you this other thing. So it's kind of a thing where, okay, so what do you do? Do you do what you're going to excel at? Do you do what you're naturally gifted at? Or do you go and pursue that other thing that you're not necessarily very good at, but it's what you enjoy, it's your passion, it's what you really want to do? And I think that's a very difficult decision for anybody, to be honest. I mean, looking at yourself at home right now, just think to yourself, if you had two paths, one path is your passion, something that you love, but you're not necessarily good at that thing. Let's say you're kind of below average at that thing, and your plan would obviously be to become very good at it through practice, through hard work, but it's not guaranteed that you will get there. It's not guaranteed that you'll be very good at it in the end. And then you've got your other path where you were born with this amazing talent at this one other thing, and if you really nurture that talent, you've got this amazing potential to go and do amazing things. But it's not necessarily something that feeds your soul. It's not necessarily something that makes you happy to get out of bed every morning. But it's something that you could cope with doing. Something that wouldn't bring a smile to your face, but you could do it. Which path would you actually take? Would you kind of go into the unknown and just chase your passion and your dreams, or would you do what you're gifted at? Let me know down in the comments what path you'd actually take. But yeah, anyways, on the other side as well, I do have this strong belief that you should kind of go for the things that you truly desire, the things that excite you. And I'm not a big believer in settling just to play things safe. I think it's a very beautiful thing to have the courage to go and do something that is uncertain, because not everybody does it. Not everybody actually has the courage to be passionate about something and actually nurture those passions. I think a lot of people kind of have these passions, yeah, but they've never actually taken any steps towards actually going to achieve that thing. So I feel like the people who actually have, who even they've just taken the first step, I think that is something that is amazing in itself, because it is quite scary and it is difficult. And to also think about how it affects the wider world as well. Reaching for something that wasn't necessarily given to you at birth, but you want that thing. It's something that is very inspiring to other people as well. You pursuing that goal and then you ended up achieving that goal, that will make so many other people believe that it's possible for them as well. So when you're pursuing that goal, you're not necessarily just doing it for yourself, you're actually indirectly affecting a lot of other people as well. But yeah, I thought that was an interesting statement, so I wanted to talk about it today. And I would very much love to hear what you guys have got to say about this, what opinions you guys have. So make sure to drop it down in the comments. Make sure to like this video and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. But yeah, thank you very much for watching up until this point, and I will see you on the next one.